And we got a raid from Somalia, so let's not waste any more time here and get started with game number 1, match 2. In 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So Gerald, a former CTL champion, back in season 19, I believe. Somalian is playing his first championship playoff ever since he got promoted to Division 1 all the way back in like 2021, which is like season 15, I think. He has played playoffs before, but they were typically for relegation matches, in which he survived each time. So, very nice change here, showing improvement. A bit of a dark horse for this season. $83,000 points for Gerald, 79,000 for Somalian. Somalian with a Lombard dependency, looking to get Tetris ready, would love a J piece, gets the J piece, and is now waiting for the Lombard. But a drought is forming for both players. Gerald already at 20 pieces. 22 pieces is going to be the end of that drought. Scoring in Tetris, so does Somalian. Now, I don't know how many times these two players have gone up against each other, but I do know that their previous encounter was in a CTM. We're back. Sorry. Alright, Tetris for Gerald and Somalian 252. Where's my phone? Oh, jeez. Okay. Hey, what's up? Sorry, it was just a little hiccup. We are back. Yeah, I don't know when exactly I got disconnected, but hopefully it wasn't too long. Somalian at 330, Gerald at 374. Somalian with a bit of trouble here. Needs a Lombard now. Gets a nice double to keep this a little safer. Gets the Lombard for Tetris, keeping his board clean enough to where it's manageable. Okay, cool. Just 10 seconds. Perfect. Could be worse. Alright. So looks like Gerald is gonna have the advantage as we are nearing transition. 445 versus Somalian's 370. Somalian saw him that J dependencies. Tetris ready. Scores a Tetris. Gerald bangs down a Tetris. Can set up 2 more Tetrises before the 19 speeds. Somalian can set up 3. It does have a potential for a 500k transition. Gets 1 Tetris. Sets up the second one. Solves the J dependency. He needs a Lombar to avoid the burns. Gets a Lombar for a Tetris. So does Gerald, transitioning at 570-65. Somalian winning for this last Lombar for another Tetris, but it is going to be forced to transition with a single at 485. Scores a Tetris 509. As Gerald's going to have an 83,000 point lead. Somalian bangs on a Tetris 559. Gerald getting a bit high up there, not getting the most comfortable pieces that he would like. Somalian in a bit of trouble, needs a Lombar. Gets a nice double there. Scores a Tetris 586. Another Tetris for Somalian 613, 626 for Gerald. Somalian has caught back up in pace. Somalian getting that piece all the way to the left side. Let's keep in mind that Somalian does tap on the 19 speeds. He can roll, but he chooses not to until 29 speeds. So all this is just raw, unadulterated tapping. $671 for Gerald. Somalian at 661. Gerald still digging. This could be Somalian's opportunity to take the lead, and he will do such. He will do so with that Tetris, but Gerald takes it right back. And Somalian in a bit of trouble here at 925. This is going to do it for Somalian, topping out at 912. So Gerald just needs a couple more burns. And that's going to do it. Gerald will take game number 1. In 3, 2, 1 Tetris. No, you're fine. Just restart. You're good, Gerald. We don't have to. We don't have to like re-roll for a false state start. You're good. All right. Let's just hope no more issues. Somalian looking to tie up the set, while Gerald looks to take an even bigger lead here. Gerald at 91,000, Somalian at 93,000. Then Tetris there for Somalian at 117. Gerald at 93,000 points. Oh, Gerald in a bit of trouble here. Needs some good pieces to bring this down. Gets a nice Lombard. Solves that dependency on the left side. Somalian with a drought. Taps those pieces all the way to the left. looks like Somalian's going to have a 79,000 point lead in these first 50 lines. Bangs out of Tetris. Now J dependent on the left converts it into an L dependency. Then bangs down a dirty Tetris. Now at 285, Gerald at 224. Somalian with the 75.6% Tetris rate. Gerald still trailing behind, but actually pretty neck and neck. About 2/3 of a Tetris separating these two players, considering Gerald is behind in lines. Somalian going very aggressive here, but didn't get the right pieces for this aggression and misses that spin. Oh my god, a lot of complications here for Somalian. Needs to bring this down as quickly as possible. Out of the danger zone, but still suffering all this pace that is being lost on Somalian's end. Might set up dirty, and he is Tetris ready for a dirty Tetris. Not dirty Tetris for Somalian. Now at 384, 346 force. Somalian. Gerald now ahead. Bangs out of Tetris. Yeah, both players now clean after they've both experienced their own little complications earlier on, but we are nearing the transition momentarily. Ooh, Somalian with a bit of trouble. Kind of a spire forming. And bangs out of Tetris. Gerald was kind of in a dig, but nothing dangerous, just costing efficiency, but still with a pretty good game at 486. So Somalian still ahead in the line count and behind in pace. As you take a look on the right side of his Tetris rate, 63% versus Gerald's 73%. Gerald getting that J-tuck. Somalian will transition at 527. So it is relatively behind as Gerald transitioned at 581. So definitely with the pace advantage. I'm banging down a Tetris 606. Committing to this row 2. Gets another Tetris. And another one, simul Tetris there. So, yeah, once again, neck and neck. But Gerald does have the advantage. Theoretical advantage in kill screen play, even though Somalian is also a roller in his own right. Gerald just has the more efficient, or I mean the better PB, and has more experience with rolling in competitive. Somalian with a Lombard dependency on the center. Solves that Lombard dependency. He's got to be Tetris ready. And bangs down a Tetris. Gerald still level 23. Somalian about a level ahead in the line count. Definitely gonna not be able to let go of the gas pedal for either player. I don't know if I was able to mention this before I crashed, but Somalian and Gerald's last encounter resulted in a 3-2 decider victory in favor of Gerald. Somalian was set up for a potential sweep. Reverse sweep after being down 2-0. He was able to clutch up a 2-2 tie, but Gerald was able to take that final game and move on in the tournament. Gerald does take a Tetris earlier at 900,000, 945 for Somalian, who will get the max out at 27 with his next Tetris. Just needs the right pieces and is Tetris ready. J dependent on the left side, forced into some burns. Gets a nice triple, but has to close down his right side regardless. Oh, that is a very uncomfortable pieces here for Somalian, and kind of indecision there. Looks like he's gonna try to roll. This is a comfortable enough position to start rolling in, but he doesn't have much of a choice. He's running out of time, and he will transition with his next line. Gets the JPs all the way to the left side. Might get Tetris ready. He is Tetris ready. Where's the llama here for Somalian? Not taking this triple. Takes a single and a Tetris for Somalian. 1.04. Gerald still up 28, but Somalian's still going. He's just going aggressive. Has the Lombard dependency. Nice flat L there for Somalian. And he is still alive, still kicking on these 29 speeds as Gerald with a 1.03. But Somalian in a bit of trouble. Needs to take this down, or this could be Gerald's opportunity to take back the lead and chase this down. Needs him to the left side, but he gets a TP to the left. 1.064 is score to beat. Just needs 9,000 more points. What I was talking about earlier about just having more experience with rolling on Gerald's side, and that'll do it. We'll take game number 2, and is one game away from moving on to the semifinals. But can Somalian avoid the sweep, or will Gerald steal the set in 3, 2, 1? Tetris. Yeah, Gerald starting off with a bit of a digging situation he has to deal with. Which could give Somalian the opportunity to take an early lead, but Gerald's already clean and will be Tetris ready. Gerald's still digging, not getting in the right pieces. A drought is forming for both players. Gerald still with the awkward stack, but will be okay by the looks of it. Still Tetris ready. Somalian tried to avoid the triple, but forced into it regardless. Another drought forming for these two players, but they both get that long bar for Tetris. They're both continuing to play pretty high up there. Gerald in a lot of trouble, gets the long bar for Tetris. Another Tetris there for Gerald. If that long bar came one piece later, that would have spelled it. That would have spelled doom for Gerald. Bit of a lucky break there. Looks like Gerald still pretty even with Somalian, regardless of all these burns he's has to deal with. Spire was forming on the right side, kind of a center, but is managing it very nicely. He's getting some good pieces. Now Somalian is also dealing with a Spire in the center, and they're both experiencing the same drought, but Gerald was able to capitalize and use that llama for a Tetris while Somalian couldn't. So Gerald now behind by 45,000 points. But now they're both clean as we near the 100 line mark. Somalian just tapping these pieces over. Get the square a little bit. I don't know, that was really awkward. But is able to get that square to the right. With tapping, squares are really scary sometimes because they're so easy to tap over left and right, but at the same time, if your stacking is a little off, it could also be really easy to hang that piece. When I was a tapper, I always had a lot of trouble if I was playing aggressive with square pieces, because I would just end up hanging them on the right and topping out soon after. But they are both very clean. Somalian rocking a 100,000 point lead over Gerald, as we are only a few more Tetrises left to go before the 19 speeds. Gerald with a Lombard dependency. Committing to this dirty Tetris, and a dirty left wall Tetris for Gerald. Now at 380, Somalian at 484. Somalian gonna transition with these next few burns. Gerald transition at 405. Somalian transition at 488. Banging down a Tetris. Ahead by 82,000 points. So we'll see what ends up happening here in the later levels. Somalian had a Lombard dependency, but got the Lombard one piece afterwards. Just win for this next Lombard. Banging down a Tetris. 541. Somalian, Gerald at 479. Yeah, Gerald kind of catching back up here, chipping away at the lead little by little as we go through these levels. Somalian at 619, maintaining a lead, but the more burns he has to take, the more of a chance that Gerald will get to try and chase this lead. Both players experiencing the same drought. Somalian with a very precarious board, so is Gerald. Somalian gets the Lombard all the way to the right. His tournament life was on the line there. He was able to clutch up that Lombard. Gerald also had a very high Lombard dependency, but did get the Lombard in time as well. And we are still at around the same gap between these two players. 693 for Somalian, 629 for Gerald. So about a Tetris and a half lead for Somalian. Banging down the Tetris, making this gap go up to 95,000 points, but Gerald responds with Tetris of his own. We are back and forth with these Tetrises. Nice little adjustment there for Somalian to get Tetris ready. Gets a Lombard for Tetris once again. Yeah, very clean stacking. 54% Tetris rate for Gerald, 60% Tetris rate for Somalian, who is really trying his best to avoid this sweep. Gets a Tetris, but has to burn. Could be Gerald's opportunity to catch back up, as he does have the cleaner stack at the moment. And bangs out a Tetris. Yeah, Somalian might have to go dirty. Gerald in a bit of trouble. Didn't get the right pieces, so has to do some burns. As both players at level 27. Somalian trying to commit with row 2 and does get that row 2 Tetris. Gerald gets that Lombard for the Tetris, 839. Somalian rolling now. Get the Lombard for the Tetris, just needs one more Tetris to get the max out into 29. Gerald with the column 3 Tetris setup will get that Tetris into 29 with a 920. And Somalian with the Tetris, 1.02 for Somalian, ahead by almost 100,000 points. So here we go. Keep in mind we do have a 39 line cap for halt. So Somalian in a bit of trouble. Gets a Lombard all to the left side, but misdrops that J pieces. Could do it. And that'll do it for Somalian. So Gerald 1.03 is the score to beat. Has all the time in the world to do it. If he completes his chase down, he will move on to the semifinals. Will we get the double sweep tonight? Still need 65,000 points. But has about 50 lines to burn this down. Hopefully pieces here for Gerald. Ooh, had nowhere to place that Z piece, but still relatively clean. Gets the J piece all the way to the left side. It's going to be okay. Now 40,000 points. One more Tetris will do it for Gerald. But just can keep it safe and burn it out. This is line outable at this point. Nice flat Lombard burn for Gerald. $7,000 more points, 6,000, 4,000. One more burn. Is he gonna go for a Tetris? He's Tetris ready. Nah, just gonna take the triple, and we'll take game number 3 and the sweep, and we'll move on to the semifinals. GG. It was a double sweep tonight. Somalian and Miles have been eliminated from the tournament, but they still had a very strong They still had a very strong showing this season. Making it to the top 6 is no easy feat. But this Sunday we'll be finishing this season, and we will find out who our new champion will be for season 21. Ramations versus Gerald and Doge versus SV. Really exciting matches. So stay tuned for Sunday. And that'll do it. That will do it. So all that's left to do now is, I guess, look for somebody to raid. I guess I'll just raid Hydrant Dude. Why not? We are done. Cheryl saying, I will win for America. Yes. Alright. Later, guys. Peace.